Hello there. Welcome to the video series, The 6 Most Effective Ways to Grow Your Dental Practice. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about PPC. And I'm going to teach you how to run an effective PPC campaign. Now, sometimes PPC is also known as pay-per-click advertising or Google AdWords or paid traffic. It doesn't matter what you call it. Essentially, what I'm talking about here is paying Google to advertise your website at the very top of the very first page for specific keywords. So a keyword would be like dentistry or cavity filling or crown or what do I do for a toothache, things like that. These are keywords. These are phrases that when people go to Google and type them in and hit enter, you obviously want to show up for them. Now, there's a couple of things. First off, PPC it's essentially dental marketing 101. So it is the most effective and the quickest way for you to get patients into your dental practice. But you have to do it right. If you don't do it right, you're going to lose money, you're going to waste money. It's going to cost you a lot more than it needs to. And so in this video, I'm going to give you a bunch of tips, and I promise you that if you'll put into practice what I'm teaching you here, and you do it right, I promise you that you'll beat the living socks off your competition. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about how to do PPC way better than all of your competition. Now, I like to keep things simple. There's two parts to PPC, and that's pretty much it. There's a few other things that we could talk about, but it really boils down to two parts. The first is a hook, and the second thing is a landing page. If you do those two things right, you're going to get a lot of results, and it's going to be really inexpensive. So first off, let's talk about the hook. Now, if you go to Google and you type in Grand Junction Dentistry, I happen to live in Grand Junction, and so just to use my hometown as an example, if you go to Grand Junction Dentistry and you hit enter into Google, these are the results that pull up. Now, these four at the very top are all ads. So these are pay-per-click ads that dentists are running. And the hook statement is this main statement that shows up in purple or blue. So Liebrook Dental Center, dentist in Fruita, dentist in Grand Junction, and Grand Junction dentist. The thing is with this hook is you want to stand out from everybody else. You don't want to sell them on your service in this hook. The hook has one objective and one objective only, and that is to be clickbait. That's all you want that thing to do, is you just want to get people to click on your link. That's it. So as you can see here, none of these really stand out from the rest. Liebrook Dental. As a prospective patient, I have no more incentive to click on Liebrook as I do dentist in Grand Junction or this ad here, or affordable painless dentistry. That's a little bit better. But what would do better here is if you ran an ad of some sort, like save 50% or save X amount of dollars, or click here and get a coupon or something like that to give them an incentive to click on it. Now, the one thing I'll say about a hook statement is in order to get the best, you have to run what are called split tests. And so you need to run campaigns with two different hooks and see which one performs better, and then switch out the one that doesn't work and use the one that's working better, and then implement a second split and then test those two. And then whichever one wins, you get rid of that one and you use the best one and you implement a third one. And you just continually run split tests and after you've done that for 6 months or so, then you'll know that your hook statement is really, really good. But remember, the purpose of this hook is just to be clickbait. That's all. You just want people to click, and I say clickbait, but that's essentially what it is. You just want to get people to click on your ad. You don't have to sell them on it. You just have to get them more interested in yours than everybody else's, and just to get them to click on it. So that's the hook. That's step number one. Now, the second part of running a good PPC campaign is the landing page. Now, the landing page is really important because depending on how good or how bad it is, you'll have people that will just click out of your site. Now, remember, when you send traffic from a paid campaign to your website, if people get on your website and they're like, nah, this is boring, or I'm confused, or I don't like this, and they click the back button, Google tracks that. It's called your bounce rate. And if your bounce rate gets too high, then Google is going to start charging you more to run ads. Okay? So it's really important for you to have a really low bounce rate. When people land there, you want to captivate them. Well, how do you do it? The answer is you make sure your ads and your landing page are related. So for example, this is a website that I clicked on. This company is running ads. So they're running pay-per-click ads. And I typed in, what was it? I think it was cavity repair near me and hit enter. And this was one of the ads that came up. Well, this page looks okay as far as the color scheme and everything, and it's laid out all right, but there's a major problem with this. First off, I clicked on, the specific key phrase that I typed in was cavities. But then it just sent me to its generic homepage, its main homepage. That was the landing page. That's wrong. I clicked on cavities. It should have sent me directly to their cavity page. And if I click on crowns or I have a toothache, then it should send me to a page that's related specifically to that. And they're obviously not doing that correctly. So that's a big problem. The other problem with this, and it's more of a fundamental problem, and almost all dentists do this wrong. In fact, everybody does this wrong. It doesn't matter what your industry. Everybody thinks that more is better, more is less, more is worse. Okay, you want a very simple landing page, and I can demonstrate that by a simple graph. Okay, here's the secret to a successful landing page. It's really simple. You ready for this? This is what it is. The more simple your website is, then the more effective it will be. If you want a more effective website, make it more simple. Really easy to understand, but everybody does it wrong. So let's go back to that website that I was just showing you. Now I ask you, is this a simple website? It looks nice, but it's not simple. Look at everything that they're trying to sell you. Sedation, implants, cosmetic dentistry, free implant, seminar, and then they've got all these questions up here, and they've got a video. Now, for what it's worth, this is actually way better than a lot of websites that I've seen. I've seen dental websites that they've got like 20 different things all on the home page, and it's like, whoa, people can only focus on one thing at a time. Why are you cramming 20 things down their throat? You want it simple. Now, if you don't believe me, who am I? Look at some of the most successful websites in the world and how they've achieved success. So let's go to apple.com or mac.com. Now, we can all agree that apple.com is one of the most successful, one of the most popular, the most effective sales websites that have ever existed. I mean, these guys know how to sell a product. Now, Apple has a lot of things that they can sell, but look at their homepage. That is simple. Now, they've got a couple things down below, but the focus of this website right now, and this changes from time to time, but right now their website is only focusing on just one thing, and that is the iPhone 7. They've got a really simple catchphrase here, which is iPhone. This is 7. And they've got one single uniform picture, and they've got a couple of phones here, but it's one continuous picture. So they've got one picture, one very simple hook statement, and that's it. That's all they've got. Now, you can go to different stuff if I went to apple.com and I'm not interested in their phone, their iPhone 7, I can quickly get to their watch or their iPad or their TV or anything else that I want to. I can find it if that's not what I'm looking for. But they understand that the human brain can only focus on one thing at a time, and so that's what they pitch to me, just one thing at a time. And by the way, if I do decide I'm not interested in the iPhone 7 and I click on iPad, they're going to do the same thing. They're just going to introduce one thing at a time. So same thing. They've got one uniform picture here, and again, just a single hook statement, which is the iPad Pro. Super, computer in 2 sizes. That's it. It's so simple. But simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and they do a really good job with it. Now, let's go back to dentistry. Your dental website should do the same thing. It should be navigable, so when people get on it, if they want to find, if they land on a cavity page but they decide that they're not interested in cavities, you need to be able to quickly navigate them, but that's really easy with a search menu. They go to our services and they can find, new implants or dentures or anything else. They can find it within, like 10 seconds on the mouse. But you need to just advertise one thing at a time, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things at one time. Just one thing at a time. That's what you need to do with just a couple things down below that can navigate if they so choose. Let me show you a better example of a website. So just to give you an idea, this is a template for a landing page that would work really well. Now, if somebody just clicked on general dentistry, like dentist near me, that's general. So I can't send them to a cavity page because I don't know that they're interested in cavities. I can't send them to crowns because they just typed in generic dentist near me. So I send them to this, and notice the simplicity of this. Don't worry, we make dentistry comfortable and very affordable. That's it. It's very simple. It's very to the point. Now you can see here that if you scroll down, then you can find other things if you're looking for more. That you know that there's more down here, and so it entices people to scroll. But we only pitch one thing to them at a time. So we specialize in comfort, and we're the best in the business. Find out why, and then you run a video. So by the time they get to the video, that's all they can see. We're only focusing on one thing at a time. So that's what your PPC campaign needs to do. It needs to be very to the point and effective. Now, go back again. The two parts to PPC, you've got a hook and a landing page. The hook is just a very simple phrase that you put as the main blue font that will show up when people, before they actually go to your page. Remember, the hook, the only point that it has is to get people and entice people to click on your link. That's it. It's not to sell them. All it's supposed to do is just get them to click. That's it. That's all it's supposed to do. Then when you send them to a landing page, if you can, send them to a page that's relevant. So if you're running a key if one of your key phrases that you're targeting in your campaign is cavities, then send them to a dedicated cavity page. If it's implants, then send them to a dedicated implants page, and so on and so forth. Now, if for the words that are generic, dentist near me, dental, good dental practice, something like that, then send them to a generic page, but it needs to be a very simple, to the point page. And the only purpose of that page is just to get them to call. So, or to get them to print out a coupon. It's to get them to take the next step of action. Now, those are the two parts. It's really simple. If you will do PPC correctly, like I just outlined, I promise you that you're going to have a flood of new business come into your practice. Now, with that said, there's a few other things in the administrative side of PPC. For example, you've got to make sure that you run your PPC to the right target market, geographically speaking. So if you're just in one city, you don't want to be running ads in another city. So watch that. It takes a little bit of work to manage all your key phrases and to make sure that the key phrases are going to the right websites. But once you get it set up, it's pretty easy. If you need any help, feel free to contact me at rockmarketing.com. I'd be happy to give you any pointers, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.